Jai Shri Mataji. Good morning, everyone. Let's all bow down to Shri Mataji, raise our Mother Kundalini and put Bandhan. Shri Ganesh Mantra. In this meditative state, we will now hear Shrimataji's speech.
Now, England, I always call it the heart of the universe. If the Kundalini is in India, the heart is in England. And it's the English wisdom that is going to do the job. I have all hopes about it. Because they are not shifty like Americans and they are not stern like, Rock of Gibraltar, I call them, the Germans. So it's something in between. Of course, rather difficult to crack. But once they are done, they are very good and excellent. Now we have a person like Dawn and a person so many like that, you see, who have really contributed so much to Sahajog that you'll be amazed, and how their lives are transformed and how they have become beautiful. I cannot tell you. I really just see them and feel so happy that they are enjoying themselves and they are now giving realizations to others and giving them their own meaning. We have to find our own meaning. We have to find our own wholesomeness, and we have to find out our absolute point. Because of relative living, we are confused. Once we have got it, then you get the absolute knowledge, about which I'll tell you little later when I have told you about the Kundalini. Now, here it's a small map. Our big map has not come, but still you can see for yourself. It's in the triangular bone called as sacrum. We have got this residual force, or we can call the primule. What is it in ordinary English for primule? You can say the germinating part of the seed in the triangular bone, which is called as sacrum. Now, the sacrum is the bone which never burns, even the whole body burns out. That's why the Greeks called it a sacrum, means a sacred bone. They did not know the Kundalini existed, maybe knowing, I don't know, but they called it a sacred bone. Just imagine how it has worked. Now, this triangular bone contains that energy which is coiled in 3.5 coils. Now, it has a significance, 3.5 coil. That, of course, I do not want to go into mathematics about it, but later on, sometimes you will know. Above that, these centers that are placed, all of them, 6 of them and 1 below it, 7 centers are actually the milestones of our evolutionary process. For example, the center here now is the center when human beings raise their heads from the animal stage to become human beings. At that stage, this center came into full force. When this center came into full force, a new thing happened into human beings, which does not happen into animals, is that we achieved our freedom. Now I'll tell you in medical terminology how we have achieved our freedom. What we see here are 3 lines, if you see carefully. On the left-hand side is the first line, blue-colored line, which is the line which shows our power of desire. This is the one which is the psyche. This is the one which conditions us. This is the one by which we live in our past. This is our desire. The second power, that is the yellow-colored one, is the power to create, is power of action. So we use for this power our brain as well as our body. This is the power that takes us to our future. We plan for our future and things like that. So this is the line that is for our future. In the center, you see another line which is actually broken at a point, at a void we call it. I mean the Zen void, do not confuse with it. This is Sahaja Yoga void. So this central line which is there is the line by which we sustain, by which we become from amoeba to human stage. This is how we evolve. Sustenance is our quality. For example, gold has a sustenance. Gold is untarnishable. In the same way, human beings also have got a sustenance by which you know what is a human being. How can you make out an animal and a human being? Very simple method you should tell me, grandmothers. Very simple method. How do you make out an animal and an... Very simple is, put them in a dirty bin. One would run away, another would sit down. So the human beings are at this stage when they raised their head, became human beings. And because of that, these 2 powers, left and right powers, which were acting within us, started producing a kind of a balloon in the head, called as ego and superego. The one which is the conditioning, another is the ego. These 2 institutions developed into our heads and formed a very thick covering here. When this bone, which was a soft bone in our childhood, is called as a fontanelle bone, became solidified, calcified, and we became a separate entity. Like you are Mr. So, you are Mrs. So, you are this and that. That's how you have achieved your freedom, as Adam and Eve have achieved. Now, you are a different person, you are a different person. Every human being is made a separate person and independent person. The reason was that at this stage, it was not possible to go further with evolution without giving you freedom to choose what is good and what is bad. This experience you had to have within you. And that's why it was done in this way, that the ego and superego, both the institutions were created in your brain and you were given your freedom. And that's how you have become a separate entity. Once you have become the separate entity, you started choosing. This is good or that is bad. But as human beings are, their attention goes out. That's also a reason which I cannot tell just now, but the reason goes out. There's a parallelogram of forces works out. Our attention goes out. If I tell you to put your attention inside, you can. It's always out. Attention cannot go inside. And that is the reason, because attention goes out, it has action and a reaction, and this ego starts bloating, and the superego also starts bloating. And the more you have it, the less you have your heart. Now, when these three things I am telling you about, you do not see them in medical sciences, but you see them as expressed as gross nervous systems called as left and right sympathetic nervous systems, and in the center is the parasympathetic. Now, what you see outside is the gross form. Inside is the subtle thing. Now, when you raise the Kundalini, you can see with your naked eyes the pulsation of the Kundalini. Not in everyone. All those people who have a problem in the second center, called as the Nabhi center, or the third center also called as the Swadhisthana. Swadhisthana, you can call it second or third depending on its position. So if there is a problem on these centers, you find the Kundalini trying to pulsate, and in some people we have seen it so fast. We have taken pictures and we've got also some films of that, the way Kundalini moves in the triangular bone. Now one has to know that this cannot be done by any human effort. Somebody says you jump on your head, you will get to God. That's very easy to do. Somebody says stand on your head. That also with practice you can do. Somebody says you hop and go a little higher with hopping, you can do it. But with that, your Kundalini won't rise. Then you can see with your naked eyes the Kundalini rising in some people who have obstructions. But with the stethoscope, you can hear the sound of heart in the Kundalini area and in the backbone. You can see it, and it reaches here. You can hear also on this area that sound. It is described by Kabira, Shunya Shikhara Para Anahada Vajire. Is all described by all those people who are realized souls. But we do not read. We read horrible people like this Lampa Sampa, what is his name, is with the third eye business. We never read the real authentic people like Shankara. We do not read people like Kabira, Nanaka, Christ, who says, I will appear before you like tongues of flames. Now what is that? What is that? That is the same as the centers. They really look like flames pulsating. You can see them clearly. Now these centers are within us, and when the Kundalini awakens, she enriches them, integrates them completely. And when she crosses this center, this is the center of Christ. This is the center of Christ. Between the pituitary and the pineal body, with the crossing of the optic chiasma, there's a very subtle center which you cannot see with your naked eyes, which is called as Agya Chakra. And when the Kundalini crosses that, you become absolutely thoughtlessly aware. You are aware, you are listening to me, but there is no thought coming from ego or superego. Actually, we either live in the past or the future. The thought rises, falls off. Another thought rises and falls off. Sometimes we see the thought coming in. So we jump from thoughts to thoughts and thoughts, but in the center is the present. There we cannot stop. So these thoughts are coming into us. When the Kundalini rises in the center, you stop at the present moment. Means you become absolutely thoughtless. You are listening to me, but there is no thought coming to you from inside. That's called as Nirvichar Samadhi. Samadhi means enlightened awareness. It doesn't mean death. Some people think that somebody is dead is Samadhi. Everybody is going to die. A dog, cat, and a human being. What is there in a Samadhi? I don't understand why death is so much worshipped by people. They think by dying only they are going to achieve something great. Nobody dies. Actually, even if you try to kill yourself, you'll be back here like a bad penny. It's not easy to die that way. So it's better not to try such tricks, you see, because that's a very dangerous stuff. Now, when the Kundalini rises, She integrates you because she goes through your mental, physical, emotional being, and you get integration. When she crosses this, you get thoughtlessly aware. But when she pierces this, she touches your spark of spirit, which is actually residing in the heart, but the seat is here. And then you start feeling cool breeze in the hand blowing, coming out. And this cool breeze is described by Shankara in so many books. Even in the Bible, it is called as the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. Even in the Quran, it is called as Ruh. This is what one has to feel, is a cool breeze which blows from your hand, and you know the energy is flowing. Now you have become a hollow personality. And the breeze has started blowing from your hand. Now with this breeze, you can maneuver it, you know how to handle it, you can give realizations to others, you can cure people just touching them, and you can also feel others, because you see there on the fingers, these 5 fingers, we have got 7 centers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. These are the 7 centers of the right hand, and there are the 7 centers of the left hand. So you start feeling your sympathetic centers, and you know where is the problem. And also everything is decoded by which you know where is the problem. For example, we have one Cambridge graduate who's done his archaeology, very sensible man. And he once he got his realization, but still, you know, as the ramblings are of the Western mind, you see, he was still thinking, how can it be? Mother said it is universal. So one day he told me, Mother, I'm burning here. What does that mean? I said, these are all the centers of your father. And this finger is for the throat. So your father must be down with bronchitis. These were my words. He telephoned to his mother in my presence. And father was not there. Mother came on the phone and she said that, sorry, father is down with bronchitis. The same sentence. He was amazed, and we could cure him sitting down there. We knew about Nixon, we knew about all of them. Their kundalini. We are not worried about their political position, but where is their kundalini? Where are their chakras? What are they catching? If they are catching this, means what? All is decoded. Every knowledge about it is given to you absolutely with love. The power of love is here. And left and right side movement in your being takes you to these satanic forces which are left force. Either they could be very ambitious or they could be very sly. You have to achieve this position of supreme love, and you'll be amazed how dynamic it is. Of course, I would say the Kundalini has been described in thousands of years. But the time has come for you to see the amas, manifestation of Kundalini. Because the time of blossom, when the tree is just beginning, it has only 1 or 2 flowers. But when the blossom time comes, thousands of flowers then become, because the time has come. I would say this is the last judgment. God is not going to make you sit on some weighing pan and see what weight you have. It's the Kundalini which is going to rise. She is the one who is going to say, what are you? And that is how the judgment has already started. You will see for yourself how one can judge another person. Not on what dress he's wearing, how he's walking, whether heavy weight or no weight or tall or short, but on the Kundalini. How far he is there, how far he is respected. That is being judged by their vibration. Vibrations are such absolute things. If you want to ask any question, say you want to ask, is there God? Ask such a question even now. Like a computer, you start working. You'll be amazed. All your questions are answered. For example, Stonehenge. People don't know what it is. I know what it is. These are the stones which are thrown by the Mother Earth. We have many like that in our country. So we saw the vibrations. I said, the Then later on people try to cover them up and do all these things. But actually they are the stones thrown by the Mother Earth, and it is written in the 10 Commandments. Whatever is created by Mother Earth or by the sky are not to be eaten. Now what are these things? Are not to be worshipped. Now what are these things? We never think about these things. What are these things which are produced by the Mother Earth, which are created by the Mother Earth? These are the stones. Special type of stones which have a coefficient to throw vibration. We have so many of them. We have that sensitivity to know that. We have built up temples on top of that. It's not statue worship, it's the worship of the real vibrations coming out. It's a very deep science, one has to understand, which integrates all the religions of the world and gives you a complete light over all. Nothing is false. Nothing is dogmatic, horrible people who wanted to make money out of it or some sort of a power out of it have worked it out in the wrong. These are all the flowers, one tree. They have removed all the flowers from this tree and have made it outside. So when you have this realization, you reach that absolute mind from where you get all your absolute answers. And the feeling is of complete relaxation and joy. Joy is not a thing which is happiness and unhappiness. From your ego, you get happiness. People say, I don't know, I went there, I felt very happy. You go to a pub, you feel very happy too. But some people say, I felt very unhappy. That is okay. Joy is in between. It's complete. It's silent. It works. It coordinates. It loves. And joy is the knowledge. Let's try if it works out with you people. But minimum, please put your hands to it. Both of you. If you are not going to do it, you have to go back. Because this is not proper to do that way, isn't it? You have not come here for anything else but to get realization. So better to go. This is it. All right. Thank you.
Well, the fact that there are only certain people who can have authority to awaken from the dream.
What do you mean?
What do you mean by certain people?
There are some people who have this power in them, flowing in them. See? That's what I mean. It's very simple. Those do not have this power flowing in them have no authority to raise Kundalini. For example, a person who has the authority is a realized soul. And such a person is above temptation. He is a very pure person. He is a person of love. He's a very sensible man. That's true. He is a higher type of personality. Now, we have some people who are very realized souls in India also, I know them. Also in Rangoon there are someone. There are everywhere. And we have known many people. And I've seen people like Bishop Berkeley was a realized soul too. But some of them do not know what is Kundalini. They are just born like that. And they are different type of people. And they go against all kinds of dogmas and fight it and all that. But they don't know what is working it out. See, they are not aware of their own awareness. Then some people are, of course, there are some people who know about these things and also they work out Kundalini. But for example, now you will be amazed, here 50% people are here sitting who can raise the Kundalini, who are realized souls. 50% people are here in this hall. So it can work out. So far, you see, those who are in the market, I should say, I have not seen even one who has this. But those who are hiding themselves are realized. Lots of them are there. And they came to see me and I went to see them. And I mean, we are in one religion. And their idea about people is very funny, and they think that you people will harm them. And you'll never listen to them because you like circus and you like all artificial things. And you have always crucified people who have been truthful. You have always murdered them. You have always given them poison like Socrates or Muhammad Sahib. So they are literally frightened of coming down. And they have told me, Mother, that you work for 12 years, then we'll come down. Now already 10 years I've worked, so 2 years later, I hope they are willing to come down. Some of them have lost their limbs and suffering quite a lot. It has been a very sad thing. But people do go to them, see them, and sometimes once in a year they meet people. But still, you see, one of them I asked him to go down to America. Just to try, he was there, he came all the way, went to America, he ran back. He just couldn't bear them. He said, they are horrible people. I mean, they have no sense of anything. They are absolutely in hell. How can I do anything? I mean, you have to have patience. You have to understand that they are in a turmoil. They are beautiful people. They are seekers. They are saints. But they are so much misled by these gurus. See, their kundalini is spoiled, their chakras are spoiled. So many problems are there. See? So you have to have a mother. What to do? All right? It's the right question. Right? Because some people try all kinds of tricks and they get burning and blistering and all that. It is like a knife, a villager coming and putting his hand into the plug and saying that I got a shock from the electricity shocked me. It is like that. You have to be authorized. Your character is different. Your style is different. You become a different person. Once you realize, you'll be amazed. Your priorities will change completely. Absolutely. Your priorities will be very different. Never, never. No. You can never use it for anything. Actually, what happens, the lowest chakra has got a deity called as Sri Ganesha. It's the deity actually of innocence. It is that deity incarnated as Christ. Christ is the embodiment of innocence, actually. That's the most powerful thing a human being has, is innocence. And he sits there. And anybody who tries to enter through these wrong paths, it is he who gets into temper. And he sort of throws his heat on the sympathetic nervous system. And when that heat crosses like that, then you get all these things of people start screaming, shouting and all that. Because that deity knows who is who. That deity knows, and the Kundalini also knows. But Kundalini itself, she is your mother. Can you think? Not only in this life, but in many lives, she has been loving you, she has been with you, she has been guarding you, she has been looking after you.
Mahamantras. We thank you, Srimataji, for this beautiful collective morning meditation. Let's all bow down to Shri Mataji, raise our Mother Kundalini and to put Bandhan. We'll join again tomorrow at the same time for the collective morning meditation. Jai Shri Mataji.